Welcome to the Bell Curve. There's a particular pleasure in discovering that something we once accepted as simple entertainment was beneath the surface far more deliberate. Sonic the Hedgehog, our cobalt streak of youth, wasn't given attitude because a committee fancied a mascot with swagger. His personality was engineered, woven directly into the circuitry and pixels of his world. What looks like bravado is in truth a beautifully orchestrated piece of design, born from a small group's audacious hope that a hedgehog might dethrone a plumber. Now rewind to the 1980s. Sega stands in the looming shadow of Nintendo's empire. Mario, as genial as ever, hopping merrily across platforms, has become gaming's universal face. Sega wants a counterpoint, someone sharper, something with a bit more sting. Enter Naoto Ohshima in Sega's AM8 division. His first sketch, a rabbit. Charming, yes. Useful, not quite. Rabbits don't spin into balls. The hedgehog arrives as a practical solution with personality baked in from the start. Ohshima then pairs with Yuji Naka, a programmer with a romantic fascination with speed. Naka, already responsible for coaxing remarkable velocity from Outrun, dreams of loops that feel physically audacious. Add Hirokazu Yasuhara on level design, and you have a team small enough to fit round a cafe table, yet somehow building a revolution on the Mega Drive. Sonic's identity doesn't begin with dialogue, it begins the moment you tap the D-pad. He doesn't simply move, he launches, like a thoroughbred who's been waiting far too long behind the gate. Naka's physics engine pulses beneath the surface, turning acceleration into personality. Sonic gains momentum on slopes as though gravity itself is a mere suggestion. Mario ambles, but Sonic surges. This isn't animation serving aesthetics. It is movement as character, movement as motive. Mario's jumps trace neat mathematical arcs. Sonic, by comparison, threads himself through curves and corkscrews. It's all momentum as freedom. Naka had sketched spinning attacks in his school days. Here they are made real, every ramp daring you to commit. Enter a loop too slowly and you tumble back to earth, the game chuckling softly as you learn by doing. And then the idle pose. If attitude could be distilled into a single frame, it would be that one, leaving him waiting, and he crosses his arms, taps his foot, and shoots you a glance thick with disdain. It's such a tiny gesture, yet it defines him utterly. Wide expressive eyes, sharp lines, shoes with just a touch of swagger. He's not politely waiting for adventure, he's waiting the way a teenager waits for the car keys. The art direction sharpens this further. Ohshima's sprites stretch slightly, giving Sonic a suggestion of motion even in stillness. His spikes sweep back like the wake of a jet. And then there's the colour. Sega's vivid electric blue, chosen to stand out on televisions of the era, chosen to avoid clashing with Mario's famous red. In the emerald brilliance of Green Hill Zone, his cobalt silhouette vibrates with energy. The landscape isn't a backdrop, it's a spotlight. And then there's the glorious alchemy of momentum and mischief. Loops, slopes, springs, they're not decorative, they're instruments tuned to amplify Sonic's personality. Naka constructs a system where gravity gracefully adapts as Sonic loops and twists, allowing him to sprint upside down with casual bravado. Springs fling him skyward with theatrical flair. Slopes reward skill with speed that feels earned. Early prototypes left newcomers baffled, hence the later invention of the spin dash. But in that first game, mastery was the point. Green Hill Zone shows this philosophy in its purest form. On the surface, it's a sunlit paradise. Beneath it, a quiet tutorial. Gentle inclines teach momentum, springs appear playful, and then the first loop arrives without ceremony, trusting you to discover delight at full speed. Each act builds on the last, tightening the challenge, urging you forward toward Robotnik. It's a curriculum dressed as a holiday. All of this, every animation, every physics quirk, every deliberate splash of colour didn't merely create a character, it created a signal. Sega wanted older players, teenagers who found Mario's sweetness a little saccharine. Marketing pushed it loudly, but the game communicated it more elegantly. Sonic was cool because the experience made him feel cool, before a word was spoken. Rebellion wasn't an accessory, it was architecture. And here we are, decades later, still seeing the blueprint in motion. The Hedgehog endures not simply through nostalgia, but because his core was built with such theatrical clarity. Sonic didn't posture his way into legend, he was designed, carefully, cleverly, with just enough mischief to make it inevitable. Catch you next time on The Bell Curve.